Hey guys, so in this video I'm going to overview CTE Patch 19. Like patch 17, there's a few things I disagree with, but I'll talk more about that later on. Also, the gameplay in this video was me in a American CTE server, which I had about 190 ping, so please excuse the kind of weird glitchy gameplay. So firstly, let's talk about the auto lock-on weapons. The Stinger and IGLA have had some changes. I think DICE should just remove them from the game completely, but that's probably never going to happen. Anyway, the missiles will now turn much slower and can potentially be dodged by extreme jet maneuvers. I think this is a good start to bring down the power of these weapons, but unless you can physically see the missile coming towards you, I don't think you could reliably dodge the missiles all the time, unless you're an extremely skilled jet pilot that knows when the missile will impact you from the lock-on warning sound. I think that's the only way a jet pilot will be able to take advantage of this new feature. Also, this doesn't really help staying alive in a transport heli. It's still easy target for infantry that's using lock-on weapons, so I think the CTE devs need to take a further look into this. Obviously, these weapons are here to stay, so we need to come up with another way to counter lock-on missiles. I don't know why below radar upgrade hasn't been put into BF4 yet. It worked really well in BF3. So the hit markers had some updates, just to give you guys a little demonstration to compare the difference between the retail BF4 and CTE. The hit markers in CTE, from what I understand, change size depending on whether it's a body shot, headshot, or if you shoot your target in the limbs. This is a really good feature and it gives the player feedback on where the bullets are landing. Now let's talk about suppression. There's now a smoother transition when going into a suppressed state. Your sight reticle will not suddenly start swaying. As you can see here, retail BF4 is on the left and CTE is on the right. If you watch retail BF4, my sight reticle will suddenly jump into a swaying motion. Just watch closely when the bullets start flying over my head. You'll notice the reticle will suddenly go downwards and into a swaying motion. I'll put this demonstration in a loop so you guys can compare. And now if you look at CTE, the reticle gradually transitions into this swaying motion instead of just jolting downwards. So overall, a really nice change. So let's talk about the weapon tweaks. The FAMAS assault rifle rounds per magazine have been increased to 30. This has been a much requested change by a lot of people for quite a long time. Hopefully this makes it more of a viable option. You may even want to use it over the AEK. Also, a few people told me its rate of fire was reduced to 900, but I'm not 100% sure on that though. There's been changes to the MP7 and the CZ3A1 as well, but I couldn't find any info on what values were changed. But it does say in the patch notes details will be released later on. This patch also included some audio tweaks. The volume of friendly footsteps will now be lower than the enemies. So another good change, as after all this is a tactical FPS game and being able to hear your enemy's footsteps is a nice advantage and could either result in you not dying or you getting the upper hand. However, enemy footsteps will still disappear if the player is firing a weapon or if there's an explosion close by. Now for a change I'm not particularly happy with, slams have gotten a huge nerf. 3 slams will no longer kill a tank. According to the patch notes, you now need 6, so that means you can only solo a tank if you have the squad upgrade perk that lets you carry more slams and mines. The intention of this change was to make landmines more of a viable option. I use the slams a lot, so I really don't like this change. There's now a new feature where you can change ADS sensitivity per scope range. As you can see here, we have options for close range and all the way up to very long range, which is for scopes between 14 and 40 times magnification. This is a really good feature for those people who want to increase or decrease sensitivity depending on the zoom level they're using. Now a few side things, there's a new gun camo called Firefighter. As you can see here, my AR-160 is wearing it, and I have to admit it looks pretty damn cool. There is 2 new soldier camos, one is called CTE Specialist, which I think might end up being a reward for retail BF4 for players that participate in CTE. I don't know the exact details on what makes you eligible to receive the camo, but I would assume I'll be spending a decent amount of hours playing on CTE servers. There's another variant of the DICE developer camo called DICE LA. It has a light grey to it, almost a white colour, and something I wasn't ever expecting, there's now an option to select camo for your parachute. I want to finish off by saying the difference between a CTE compared to retail BF4 is night and day. CTE plays so much more better, gameplay experience and enjoyment is a lot higher, and to give you guys an idea when the big CTE patch will arrive, a screenshot by Danny on PC shows a CTE dev saying to expect the big patch sometime in September. So anyway guys, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.